right with the dog. The dog. Anyway,
Oh,
yes,
you need to look
we are
size up.
back here, ladies. It feels like forever actually since I last saw you, since winter solstice. It's the 6th of January. We're here for our post chat on the Chetham Farm Labyrinth. It'll probably just be a small number of us because not everybody who was there is going to be submitting information, which is great. Great for them because it means that they've managed to participate and enjoy the process. Oh, Maisie's not here. Maisie should be here actually. I just need to just drop her a message.
And Amy.
Amy's here.
Oh, is she? Hi. I can't see because I'm on this silly phone. Sorry.
Okay, just sent a reminder there. So what I would like to do, if this is okay, is just go round to each of you, as I usually do with these, for your feedback from any dreams, insights, things that have popped up, things that you've noticed as a difference with you, with your family, that you noticed as a group while you were there, and that you noticed with the environment, and therefore other environments that you've been in. Have you been picking up other information? But you will all have your own journal notes anyway, so this is really whatever you want to share. For tonight, I'm recording it. I am going to transcribe it and press the button, and please remind me to press save transcript. I think it does it automatically and it doesn't. I have to press save transcript. Please remind me to do that before we end the call. Okay, so we are recording, and Claire, you arrived first in the room, so I'm going to go straight to you, Claire. How have you been since winter solstice? What has happened for you? What downloads, dreams, insights have you had?
Well, I've not sent all the information because I couldn't find the pad. Then I found all the paper and everything, and I actually didn't realise that I'd been talking to myself and sending me voice notes on the actual day in the park.
Oh
Which was
wow!
quite good of me because
Yeah.
I've even said I'm sending you this, Claire, so you know what I'm doing. You know what I mean? So I'm like talking to myself in the third person. The synchronicities just blow my mind. I just can't even. I just can't even. I don't know. I mean, like how it's mirroring in my everyday reality. I just can't even. I asked for peace when I was at the on the day. I had a massive resistance about going, and I think the reason I had the massive resistance is because of what followed after it.
Yeah.
From Christmas Eve till I don't even remember. I'll have to look up the notes. Probably till about even like New Year's Day, whatever. I just wasn't myself at all. It was like I was going through this huge. I don't want to swear because as a child, but head FUCK, if you know what I mean. Everything that I've told myself I'm not came up. I was like I was fighting in my own head. I call it like an emotional purge, and it's that's what happens with me. I've found, like you can have your physical purges, which interestingly all my family were going through. Anthony's even burnt his left palm, like in the middle of his palm. So I remember looking back at the notes, and you were saying something about at the activation that someone said something, and you said, "Oh, I've just got a really sharp pain in my left palm." Well, Anthony's actually physically burnt his palm, and it's not healing, but it is healing now because I've got him some cream. All my children, the first one he's been all right, but the two younger ones, they've had like flu, whatever. I mean, I've been physically well. I've been all right, apart from when I decided to have a couple of mint Baileys there. I had a hangover for about 2 days, which were awful. But I don't drink, so that's probably why. Just loads and loads of really, really interesting things. I picked up about the place beforehand. I think I picked up about there was the Rainbow Tree of Life, and there was actually a Rainbow Tree of Life in at Mandy's, so I took a picture of that. But what I will say to you is, I hope Tasha didn't mind me sharing this, but I decided I was going to go and have a treatment with Tasha, and on the way there, it was like a bit of an initiation. It was very interesting. So what I've wrote in my thing was that I was meant to go to, because I wasn't sure if I was going to go to the actual event. So what I wrote to myself as a voice note was I had the awareness, I had to get there myself because that was part of the initiation. Now, actually, in hindsight, I think that was to get to the treatment with Tasha, because what happened were I'd asked for peace at the Labyrinth. I nearly crashed my car because I just literally, my head just went. I didn't know where I was going. It sent me the wrong way. And this beautiful, beautiful woman came from nowhere because I was going down the wrong direction in the street. And she had the peace sign on a jumper. And she just said to me, just calm yourself down. You're going to be absolutely fine. And I was like, what? And I calmed down straight. She was like an angel sent from heaven. So like you just can't. I was just like, what the hell? You just can't. And then like things that have happened before and happened after, I'm just blown away with it all. Absolutely blown away with it all. I've looked at where I'm going to be when you're wherever you are, because I'm not going to be there. So I'm really, really interested to find out what's going to happen. Because I'm going to be in a different country when you do what you do. I'm not even there for the activation. I'm probably going to be sailing then. I think that's a couple of days after I fly. I don't know. But I'm just really, really interested in it all. But I'm just absolutely, even though it wasn't a great, I mean, I'm very grateful for it all. But it's just all very, very interesting. And I've took a reading. My husband helped me do it. I've took a reading of my water because for some reason I've not thrown it away. And my first one was 0074, like US, whatever you call it. And then my other one with ppm was 36. So yeah, that's all I can say really at the moment. But it's just about piecing it all together and writing down and sending it to you, because I don't know that Otter. I can't get my head around that. It's not that there was a reluctance to send the information, it's that I've got overwhelmed at the moment, and I've just, it's going to sound awful, but like I've just chosen to let go of certain things that I don't need to do.
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean? And I've not, like on Christmas Day, I didn't even get dressed up because I thought, nah, I don't want to do that. And I thought, oh my God, that's like something I've never done. We always get dressed up on Christmas Day. So yeah, it's just I'm grateful for the transformation. I'm grateful, that I was there. It's not been easy, I'm not gonna lie, but I do know that I feel like I'm gathering my strength and my energy for what's to come. That's what I feel. I'm very much still in hermit mode. I've got a rechargeable hot water bottle on me as we speak that my husband got me for my birthday. So yeah, that's just where I'm at really. I'm gonna have another therapy session with well, it's not therapy, is it? Rocking session with Tash on Thursday, so I'm looking forward to that.
Beautiful.
So I just love, like how the universe, and I'm so grateful, and I keep affirming how grateful I am that the universe aligns me with the people I need to be aligned with. Do you know what I mean? And I kept seeing like this vision of this like artwork, and it turns out it's actually the front page of Catherine's book. So I'm like, what? That's like, wow. It's really, really prominent now. And I find the more I affirm it, the more things happen.
Brilliant.
So yeah, I'm going to shut up now. That's what I've got to
No,
say.
that's brilliant. That's brilliant, Claire. Thank you
So
so
yeah,
much
I
for
felt
all
like
that
it was
feedback.
important to share that.
Thank you so much. So I'll go to Tasha now then.
There we go. Yeah, oh, I loved hearing that. Right, well, I'm nearly organised. Check me out. So, where am I at? Oh my God, it feels like ages ago. So, I was just so grateful to be in Mandy's space because, and to meet Eleanor as well on that day, because I had a really hard year last year, getting absolutely harassed and my name dragged through the mud by a fucking lunatic who I'm not even going to name. Anyways, And Mandy and Eleanor have also had experience with this same person. That's caused me a lot of problems over this last year, and it really damaged my sisterhood. Like I was like, oh, I'm here again, fucking another lunatic, another narcissist. Oh, I attract them. No more attracting them. We're not doing that anymore.
No,
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 no.
no, 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 no,
No, no, no.
no, no. So yeah, I was just very grateful to be in the space at the time. It was such a beautiful space, and the pineapple. Ah! The pineapple was a lovely little sign for me because to me it symbolizes swinging, and I haven't been swinging naughty stuff for a very long time because I've been in a monogamous relationship, and I have at that time I had just booked to go swinging for New Year's Eve with a lovely lady that I'm dating. So the pineapple was really funny to me at the time. It's like loads of little signs like the universe saying, yes, you're doing the right thing, go for it, say yes, live your life. So that was just wonderful. So I've started my new year. Well, Christmas, I don't celebrate Christmas. I haven't celebrated Christmas since I was 13. I don't do it. Um, but I opened my business space up for Christmas Day, and that was really lovely because some really lovely younger people that don't have any family came, as well as some of my friends, and that was just really nice to hold space. And I played guitar for the first time with another guitar on Christmas Day, so I was chuffed.
Wow.
Like, there's a lot of musical themes coming through for me at the moment, which is really nice. Like, and it's pushing me on. And in terms of, well, I had a brilliant New Year swinging. Well, we won't go into too much detail about that, but it was lots of fun. And then in terms of writing, I'm doing it digitally now because I'm understanding that I'm just very disorganized at the moment. I'm going through perimenopause. I'm not loving it. My brain doesn't work anymore. It just doesn't work anymore. I don't know what's going on anymore. So I've started a digital diary on Google Docs. Yes.
Yay.
And it's going to all just be digital. And even if it's only like one line, because sometimes I get overwhelmed, and I've been really overwhelmed with my phone breaking and then being in the shop and all that technology stuff that was happening before the retreat, which I know means there are lots of big energy shifts.
Yeah.
It's coming through. Um, so yeah, rather than just being like going into my overwhelmed cycle where I just don't do anything, so I get a bit overwhelmed. I'm like, I need to rest, I need to ignore all this stuff. I've just been, even if I'm feeling overwhelmed, just putting like one line in a day. And some days I'm doing quite a lot of writing in this journal, and that's felt really good for me because writing is my natural space of self-reflection anyways, and it's pushing me to put some more of my writing online. I'm going to put some more of my writing online. I'm feeling very brave. I feel really since the retreat I feel really like a brave energy coming through because I feel very supported by a circle of sisters, if that makes sense. So that's kind of the energy of where I'm at the moment. And I'm really looking forward to going back to Portugal. I'm going back to Portugal on Sunday and being held by my oldest friends and just being there in the energy. So I won't be at the next one. But again, I'll be very interested to see what goes on because I will probably be at a stone circle or something whilst you're doing yours magics here. I've got a few stone circles near me, so we'll see what happens. Yes, so that's kind of where I'm at. Yeah.
Well, if you are, that'll be really interesting if we can sort of coordinate something to be doing the same sort of things that day.
Yeah, that's what I thought on that day. Yeah,
So
because
we'll have a chat about that
where
outside.
I live, about a mile away, I've got a really ancient dome and stone circle structure that's really old. So I can nip down there on that day for sure.
Brilliant.
Absolutely.
Oh,
Yeah, we'll
thank
see
you so
you
much,
now.
Tasha. That's
Thank
wonderful. I'm glad you've had a swinging time.
You have. It's been brilliant.
Beautiful, darling. Okay, let's go to Catherine.
Just put the light on, then you can see me.
Okay.
Right, so it's been quite a full circle because I only came to the first one and I came to the last one. And it was quite a full circle. So even though I wasn't with you all for all of them, whatever you were doing, I was on this journey. And then at the end, it was this beautiful, like, completion and healing. And the womb healing was just out of this. It was just amazing. It was like really, really special, Julie. So thank you. Because that womb healing, it was all around the womb. It was all from past lives and how I had basically, I won't go into the whole story. I've sent it to you, Rachel, haven't I? But in the first circle we went to, activated memories of a past life where I was a seer and I was murdered and my eyes were gouged out, but I was pregnant and the baby was taken from my stomach as well. So that was really interesting that then on the last one, I had that huge womb healing with Julie, which was amazing. And for me, this last one in particular was about coming back to the land and feeling that I belong. There's a huge shift in me, and I'm just so much more settled. I can't describe it. It's like a whole cycle of healing that I've been doing has just come to an end. And it's not that the healing doesn't continue, because it does, but it's just that, like, I've done something that's like, right, you've done that. So now it's your next chapter or whatever, however you want to say it. So it was really significant for me to be at both of those circles because that was a real significant part of my healing. And I was at this land, this connection with the land. When we all walked up the hill to the circle, I really felt that I was being guided back at that point. And I don't think it was any coincidence that I was following the lady who owns the farm. I was, I think that was meant to be behind her because she was leading me to it.
Yeah.
She was taking me back to the land.
Yeah.
And that was beautiful. And it was kind of like an activation that I think this next phase I'm moving into is something to do with gifts that I'm tapping into that I'm going to allow myself to do now. But so that was just, we'll see where that goes. But that was just, yeah. So thank you.
Oh no, thank you for being on it, Catherine. It's potent stuff that we're doing, really potent stuff. So these shifts that we're all having and sharing together, it's gives us that much bigger picture and sisterhood around it, of it being okay and safe.
And I never get colds really, and I've got this cold, and I just think this is part of this final release,
final shift.
Yeah.
Gently. Thank you very much, my love. Amy, how are we doing?
Hello. Yeah, I'm doing good, thank you. I'm not sure where to start really. Like, this has definitely been lighter than the last one.
It has.
I know that for sure. Which I've been very grateful for. Like, I think I felt a lot of like joy and sort of like it filled my heart space up on the solstice. It's been like, I think it was very fairy-like for me, and it was those lighter energies of like peace, love and joy. and I thought it was just a really, really beautiful day. Yeah, I was really, really grateful for that day. And the energies after it. I think it's, yeah, I'm not, the insights haven't been like as in my face as last time. I mean, physically as well. They've been like lighter, and it's like, I think there has been emotion like come up, and there was like a bit of anger before Christmas, which I've like sent in my journal notes, but it's like it came to a conclusion, like it was resolved sort of peacefully, like more peacefully, and it's like a lot of understanding and clarity, I think, came out of that situation that initially I thought was negative and not, it was upsetting and made me quite angry, and but yeah, it's like sort of resolved with the better outcome. Like I really felt like this year's started really well. Like I feel almost like, yeah, I do feel like a cycle is coming to like an end sort of thing. I think I feel like more of things are opening. I don't know, the end, it's not, yeah, it's more the energy's opening up, I think. And I feel called to like get rid of the old and declutter and just wrap things up that I've like projects that I've not quite finished and stuff like that. I want to finish them and have a clearer slate, really, I think. So I think that's where I'm at the moment. Like, I just want to just get things a bit more organized and finished, and yeah, I feel like want to be more conscious of like my energy as well, and conserving it, and like giving my body what it needs, basically, like rest when I need to rest, and getting some healthier habits of like sleep pattern and eating and all that kind of thing to really like be on my physical self, I think. Because yeah, also today I don't know where it's come from really, but I sort of like, I've had this clarity that like, I could have like autism or like acquired ADHD sort of thing, and I'm like, it's been sort of suggested to me in the past. And I've been like, oh no, I don't think I do, and all that. But I don't know, for some reason tonight I've just been like, wait a minute, kind of like was facing me there, and sort of so that's something I want to look into more, I think, because that would make a lot of sense as to like things I've experienced in the past and like sort of day-to-day struggles, I suppose. But yeah, that's quite interesting. So just want to take more like self-care, really, of myself, I think. I've also been a bit sort of feeling like fear about the future in a way. I think because the it's unknown, and I feel like something sort of big is happening and changing in my life, but like the collective energy as well, and I don't know what it is yet. So it's like I'm on this precipice, like, and I'm waiting, to fall, or like not to fall like in a bad way, but just for that something to happen and to change and stuff. It feels like it's building up to it, and I don't really know if it will be that a sudden change or it's going to be a gradual change. Like I don't know, just it feels quite big, and I feel a bit scared of like, yeah, stepping out into the wide world sort of thing.
Yeah,
But yeah,
little footsteps.
yeah.
I think it's That's really insightful feedback. So thank you for that, Amy. It's
Yeah,
all big
thank
stuff
you.
that everyone's
Yeah.
bringing to the table here, and you're all being really raw and vulnerable, and it's all the more beautiful because of it. So thank you, each and every one of you, for that. Eleanor.
Yeah.
Hi everyone. I have cat is here, so she might come and
Keep you
she might
company.
come and purr aloud. You can see her tail behind.
Yeah.
Kizzy. No, she's gone back to her bed now. It was really interesting listening to everyone. Because a lot of what people have said, I think my experience since the retreat has been quite comparable to others. I think the day after, I've just kind of started. I had the most ridiculous energy, and I was just sorting, and I can't remember what happened on that day, but since then, I've just been in this like almost frantic, but not frantic, relentless, just kind of like fixed, must do it. Literally finishing all the jobs that I started, making my house right. So I think since I saw you, I've kind of cleared my desk area. I've swapped the mattress. My partner gave me his old mattress that was he didn't need. He was kind of getting rid of that, and that kind of triggered everything else. Sorted my wardrobes out. I moved out the shoe unit, organised my shelves how I wanted them to do it. Have acquired loads of like new storage things. I got a new fridge freezer. I think that was that week. So I had to rearrange my kitchen. I've wallpapered my living room. Literally being like, that's just like, must do it all. But the difference is, like in the past, it's like I've always known that I do have an ADHD diagnosis. In fact, tomorrow is two years to the day since I was formally diagnosed. And I kind of look back now, and it feels suddenly like my meds are working. Like I've had a few months and I'm feeling like they've not really worked. So I think like, should I be changing my prescription or should I be doing something different and suddenly it just feels like they're working. I don't know why, but they do. And I can kind of like pace myself. So I had like this mad day of energy on the Monday, and then the Tuesday I was a bit tired and I thought, a bit tired. I'm not going to do that much. But in the past, that would be the point where I'd have got, swept into being tired and getting off course again. I thought, no, I'll just rest a bit today. And then the next day I was back on it. And I was just able to pace myself. Whereas like when my meds do work, that's literally like I can sort of think through these things and I can make decisions, like sensible decisions or actual kind of like logical decisions, and I can weigh things up and I found myself actually thinking through decisions rather than actually just making really knee-jerk ones, which is my usual impulsive side. I had a quiet Christmas, but then I quite often do have a quiet Christmas, and bizarrely for me, I did end up. I have been known in the past to spend Christmas Day. This is pre-children, like just decorating, just in my own little world. That's the day when all the people are doing that. But because I did share that my family's Jewish in origin, so we celebrate Hanukkah more. We've always done a very sort of token bit of Christmas because my grandmother, she was fostered when she was a child, so she was kind of, although she was Jewish, she was brought up in a like Christian household, so she had the sort of small element of Christmas, and it was again a very sort of simplistic version. It's just a family meal, and everyone had a cracker, and everyone got a present. You know, so for me, Christmas is kind of like that, and I just kind of like my children. I just took the opportunity to stock up on new clothes for them, but in a few nicer ones, the things they've grown out of. So I don't know. I just kind of feel really different, and I do definitely feel like I'm clearing a lot of stuff and like things that in the past I've maybe struggled to let go of for whatever reason. I mean, they've still not quite made it all the way out of the house or the car. Some of them are still sitting in that transition, like in the garden, but they will get there. I think because I'm so busy in my head making the house how I want it, and it's kind of like, yeah, that'll be another job and another day, but I know it will happen. And I don't know, I feel kind of a weird confidence that, like, confident in a way that I don't think I've ever really had, actually. I don't know, maybe just kind of at peace and kind of recognized as myself, if that makes sense. I've like Tasha, I did invest recently in a piece of equipment which is something which is said to be good for people who are autistic or with ADHD, called a remarkable tablet. And it has loads of really good templates in it. Um, so I've applied already for funding to get one of those, but through access to work. But at the minute, it's a very long waiting list. So I figured there's enough neurodiverse people in my organisation that it will always get used. So I thought even if we get funding for another one, it will still get used. And meanwhile, I'm actually getting to try it out, and it's a bit like, wow, oh, these are really good tools. I don't know, something seems to have found the tools that I need. I seem to have found not so much drive, because that was always there, but more capacity. And I just feel a little more able. Sometimes they all you motivated now. It's like, well, I was motivated before, but it's just lacking that ability to make it happen. Whereas now suddenly I'm just making it happen. I feel like I'm functioning, which is good. So not that I don't, not that it's gonna be always a day. And yesterday was a bit of a hard day. Yesterday was like first day back at school for my children. I was like, oh, I'm back at work today, and it was actually really hard getting into the swing of it. And I thought, well, you know what? It's the first day back, and I've been switched off from work for a few weeks, and just really switched off. And yeah, my dog, he's just barking now. When it's walk time, he barks every single day, so there's no escaping going out for a walk. I have to go and walk him, because otherwise he just barks at me until I take him out. So, all the things that I need to do, I've been doing, because I've just had a bit more capacity. So yeah, it's been very positive and so yeah, I feel very, because obviously I literally just turned up at the end, but maybe I've been on my own journey before that. In my own world. I meant to say, actually, I don't know when you went to Castlereagh, but in October, my partner and I actually went on holiday for a few days to Cumbria, and we went to a different stone circle. We went to I forgot which one it was. Gone out of my head. There you go. Menopause brain disappeared. I know it was there. We went to a stone circle.
Birkrigg Stone Circle?
It was near the sea. Yeah, it's near the sea. It's in South Cumbria. It's near
It might be Birkrigg. Is it near the temple?
No, it's not Birkriggs.
Oh, right, okay.
It's on the Duddon estuary, Duddon estuary, so nearer. It'll come back to me in 5 minutes. As soon as somebody else is speaking, it will come back to me. But yeah, we went to a stone circle, and we had a really nice. So we had our moment at Stone Circle in the lakes, and I was like learning a lot about rocks. And we went also similar to that area. We went to a huge walk around what originally was a volcano, but now is a massive quarry, and they've got a rock park. So it was all ancient rocks, and that thing when you have that moment where okay, the stone circle's really old, and then you go, actually, the rock park is like gazillions of years older than that. And it had rocks from all over the lakes. So we had our own little thing there. So we went to those places and met, and it's going to really bug me now because I need to look for it.
That's all right. You could pop it in the group later. It's absolutely fine.
I
Thank
will.
you for that,
I
Ellen.
will.
That's
Yeah.
That's really potent stuff. Everyone's having these really big changes.
Yeah, it definitely feels like a big change. I don't know why or how, but it just has happened, and I've just kind of yeah.
And you arrived exactly when you were supposed to arrive, so there's no right
I'd say
or
so.
wrong.
Yeah,
You know,
definitely.
with everyone's journey, it's absolutely as it's meant to be. So,
Absolutely.
you know, we're
This is
now
it.
just
Is that kind of
starting. We've now got a whole year ahead of us of adventures to have, which is really quite exciting. So, thank you very much indeed, Eleanor.
Swinside? The
Oh,
Swinside.
Swinside. Oh, that's one of my favourite ones.
Have you been there?
Yeah, it is just the most glorious circle.
It's really nice, isn't it? It's beautiful.
Glorious.
It's very
We will be
complete. Not too.
going. We will be going this year because that is just one of the most delightful places to go.
It is, and it's not too. It's really weird because it's not.
It's
Not.
quiet and it's a
It's
bit of a
quiet.
walk, and the parking's
It's
shocking,
it's mostly sheep and
but it
sheep and
is
rocks
so
and
beautiful.
yeah, yeah.
So
Swinside.
beautiful.
Yeah, lovely
So
place.
beautiful. Oh gosh, yeah.
So
Well
yeah,
done you. Love it.
yeah.
Okay, Julie. Dr.
Mhm.
Maisie's popped off, so I'm hoping that she might come back, but she might have to put baby to bed or something, so we'll see.
Okie dokie. For me, okay, well, it seems to me that every single time going to go on to a site, going towards the visit, there's always issues getting there with angry drivers, usually male, although sometimes female, but that seems to be a thing. So that was a starting point. And then for me, lots of physical things, because lots of physical things had happened to me before going there. And that continued. So particularly on the left hand side of my body, I'd hurt my foot, I'd hurt my hip, my wrist. Started with a bit of a urinary tract infection and coughing. So a lot of very, very physical things were going on. But as always, I find that very sort of lift those things, because I always ask them if they will lift that a little bit, the pains and discomforts and things, so that I can always manage to do what I need to do. And that certainly happened on the day. Some of the themes for me was, I feel like this hasn't finished yet. For me, I'm very much into, although I recognise the new year, I don't totally recognise the new year until April. And I feel like that is the case, because I feel like there's still some shedding of skins to go on. I feel like we're getting down to the bone. We're not quite, I don't feel like I'll speak for myself. I don't feel like I'm quite down to the bone completely in some ways. And I feel like it's all these last little bits. So there was lots of ancestral stuff, lots and lots of ancestral stuff, and lots of about females needing to clear and to heal. And this includes me, to strip back before we can sort of bring it forth more of the masculine energies. That still feels like that's still ongoing at the minute. It feels like we're getting there, or I'm getting there. And there was lots of, like, at times feeling victimized, unheard, unseen. That those energies were still there to some degree. I think there's still some of that there. And that has reflected in my life. There's been a lot personally going on. Phenomenal. It's been like the worst Christmas, the worst New Year. No, not New Year itself, sorry, because I was with you, Rachel, but like the worst in some respects. The worst, but the best, which sounds very weird, but lots of people have totally pissed me off and been really annoying and judgmental and finger pointing and trying to make me into something that I'm not. And why it's been the best is because, although I feel like I have been in my power quite a bit, I felt like even more I've been able to stand in my power. And I've just told, not in a nasty way, I've managed to, which sometimes people can trigger me. In family, this is in particular, and I can really trigger and respond. And I've really managed to maybe be triggered and cry or be emotional, but I've not gone in there with anger or really shown my tears and things. I've kept that separately because it's the frustration and I don't want that to be seen at that time because I want to feel strong enough to sit down with those people, which I have done, lots of different people, and tell them what I think in terms of what they're trying to put on me and the emotions and the words and not accept it and put it back on them and get them to recognize what they're doing. And whether they take that on board or not, I equally have told them that's up to them. But that's my line. I'm not taking it. So I feel like there's been that real strength in there. And I think part of that as well, I will say, Tasha, I came to your sound bath with my husband and it made me really ill. Thank you, but it is a thank you because I felt like, and I could feel things really shifting again. So that was like quite quick after we'd done the visit and things. And again, it made me literally physically want to be sick and literally have to nip to the room. But it was that deep purging really, and I needed that. I feel like that's what I was saying. It's like there's been a lot of purging, a lot of sorting out, and I feel like that's what I saw with everybody else. And that when I did the womb healing, and I know Catherine's mentioned that, but for me, equally, this is like for some people, obviously on there, I think about the 5th of the 13 months we normally do, and I could the energy around people's womb areas and what was being released and what energies I was feeling was very, very strong, very, very strong. I think added on to that, we had then, of course, Tasha with the sound bath as well. So there was a lot of strength in what was going on.
Yeah.
And that's what I felt with the whole of the whole of Chetham Farm, really. It was like there was that high energy, laughter, excitement, and then very powerful energies coming in as well. And that felt very strong. And to walk into the labyrinth and the ordeal of for me it was an ordeal because obviously I'd got an extremely sore foot, but that felt positive. It felt like working through that and getting up there and managing to do that was a big thing and it was important. But I feel like shedding skins, taking personal responsibility, and I felt like that had happened was nice because that had happened after the trip before. So this visit was like people have stepped forward, took personal responsibilities, or took that ability to actually not take on mirror images that have been put on them and stood firm and stood there together was absolutely beautiful. So yeah, lots of connections with Odin, ravens, all those things that we've had before, all those ancestry things. I just think it was a great time to bring everything together. And bloody technology and cars, challenges like I know everybody else has talked about saying like technology has just been like absolutely the bane of like things going wrong. On the day I nearly ran out of fuel because I suddenly realised I'd got no fuel in my car. Literally, I was on vapors, and yet we managed to do that. So all those things. So yeah, sorry, I feel like I've gone on perhaps a little bit, but I felt like the power of what's going on within us all coming together is so powerful, and I don't see anything as a coincidence. I see that energy and what we're doing, that release is very much part of the process. Sorry.
No, apologise. That's really beautiful and yeah, very, very profound. And just adding to what you've all beautifully delivered tonight, that interweaving of the stories and synchronicities that are actually going on, not just from this one site, but from the very first site that we came, and your journal notes that are coming in I'm going to put individually into each group now, so that you can be having a look and going through and definitively letting me know that you're happy for that to be part of the study. I really need to know that whatever notes you've given me are absolutely okay to go into this study. So if you've not signed that piece of paper yet, I really need you to sign that document and sign that off so that we can do this. I think for me, from the activation, there was so much. There was immediately sort of so much from the activation that brought me so much joy, so much emotion of just deep gratitude for us all turning up and being present for it. There was such deep gratitude for the tests and the deepening that we are choosing to go into emotionally, mentally, physically, spiritually together. Choosing it and turning up for it, it was so profound for me. I found it very, very, very emotional, the activation. And from that, I had lots of physical symptoms. There was lots of yawning, there were lots of giggles, there were lots of stretching. I was very aware of the physicalities of my body, as I am now, of all of that sort of shifting through me. But also, as the information, and I've been looking at it for the short time that technology has allowed me to look at it, the synchronicities that have been coming in, but also, weirdly but not weirdly, even my own brother, who's on his very spiritual journey, it's parallel with mine, but it's in a very different way. And we bounce off each other and collide and clash in so many different ways. But then when we do share this information, it blows our minds because it's so parallel. And as I was talking to him about the numbers that I was seeing from the radius of the impact of the Silverdale earthquake, it was giving me this radius number that was making sense to him from his numerological end of cycle for this year, for last year, and he shared all of that with me. And for some reason it feels very important that he did, and I note it for the future, and I don't know why yet, but I've noted that as part of a very significant part of what is sort of unfolding. But the actual day really showed me what is important now on focus. And I know I'm hyper focused. I know I'm on the spectrum like there's no tomorrow, and I've never had any tests, and I don't need it, because I know that the work I'm doing is showing me how hyper focused I can be, because it's taking me into areas that other people haven't yet delved into, in ways that they haven't yet delved into it. And you are all coming with me, and you're deepening that process with everything that you are offering to it and witnessing. And it is so important, it's become so important that it's made me very aware of boundaries, very aware of personal boundaries of what I will now accept on my time, where I'm putting my effort, who's pushing those boundaries too far, what I need to say, very much like Julie and Eleanor and here, is what I need to say to stop that from happening now, because this work will not, cannot, should not be delayed. It has to continue from my point of view. Whoever is coming on the rest of this journey with us, you will undoubtedly be shown your own boundaries and clearances that are happening along the way, and you will see it within your families as well, of what you will put up with and what you won't put up with anymore. And then you'll be given, like I have, I'm sure, those insights that go, oh, I was just about to blow my top at that, but actually what you've just shown me is you've just really rawly shown me where you're at, and that's very vulnerable and tender, and I've got to honour that process, because that needs me to soften into that with you, so that we can grow together on that. Because for me, there's no, and never has been, leaving anybody behind. There's no leaving anybody behind, because there's no need to. Because the information that that we're sharing And just from the yawn enables people to come on this journey from the most basic examples of taking notice of these subtleties of being a human being. Because these subtleties of being a human being are where every single portal lies. And it's how we want to choose to soften into it, to allow that portal to open up, and what it's going to deepen us into as individuals, as a group, as a collective, is for me where the fun is. And so that's what the very start of the journey into the gathering showed me. My personal boundaries of actually what I've been giving, it's a lot. And now people are not going to piss me off anymore. My time is precious. I am putting a lot of work into this. Behind the scenes, I can't tell you how much time and effort this is taking to pull it together. It is so much. Plus, I'm doing everything else. So it's made me aware that we need help. We need help, and that's not just help from the beautiful work that you're offering on the day of taking the readings, which is absolutely massive help. It's made me even more aware that these readings have to be even more highly focused, and that time has to slow down throughout the day for those readings to be taken with care and precision to make this even more precise. Because if we take very hyper-focused care over this work that we are doing, we will be taken even more seriously, and now is the time for this work to be taken even more seriously. It's not woo-woo, it's deep transformational work, and the information that you are giving me with the water samples and the dowsing and the weirdoscope data is showing the depth of that, of how it all synchronizes together. So I'm going to ask for some more time from you to really read the website for each site that I'm going to put in. Really look at what other people have written. Really look at the weirdoscope data. Really have a look at things that don't make sense to you. And ask me questions until they do. Because if you can do that, that's going to help me deepen things so that Joe Blogs out there can understand what it is that we are putting together. Does that make sense? So you being able to offer that time in your time whenever you can is really going to help this put forward. Now, Julie, so that I've had the house clearance, I've sorted out my wardrobes, we've got to go to, I've been doing all of that massive sorting out. I've been sorting out boundaries left, right and centre, and it's hyper focusing, like I said, this year now for this next stage of what we're doing to be even more intentional. So the intentions that we're going to be setting for every single part of this activation to the gathering, it's going to slow things down a little bit, and that's not a bad thing. And I don't know what that means yet until we start doing it. But collectively doing the group intentions like we did in the fire pit, that was really potent. There was a massive shift in that fire pit for us all that was very subtle, but it was happening, and I could really feel that. And for one person in particular, it was deeply uncomfortable, and for others that was very light and nice. So the shifts that are going on, it's we never know who's going to be the vessel. We never know who's going to be the witness, even if we choose it. It might totally ignore us. But setting that pledge, I'm glad I did the pledge. I'm hoping that worked for you all and gave a little bit more of the taking ownership now of our journey. For me is where we're at. Because although we are doing initiations, we're doing the womb healing, we're doing the blessings, we're doing the sound baths, at the end of the day, what happens from that is your responsibility, because we are not with you. You can come back to us at any point and we will come back to doing some nightly or weekly meditations to integrate this year the work that we're doing, because it needs it. Whether people choose to come to it or not is entirely up to you. But if you're going to stick around for the duration of more sites, I would advise doing so, because it's as that group, as that collective, that we're integrating even more information and weaving that web together in an even more potent way. But that is pure personal choice. But those are the things that have sort of just been highlighted to me in sort of how we move forward. And I just wanted to note that in the notes, which I am now going to save before I forget. Saved. I pressed save. I've saved the transcript. It's going to save me so much time. And pulling these reports together from the ChatGPT point of view, I'm on the massive learning scale here. Everything I'm doing, I'm completely learning from scratch. So the questions that I'm asking will change each time, because it's slightly different that I'm asking it to do something different for each report. But what I've not been doing is asking it to save the terminology that I'm using, and then the next time I go and ask it to do something, it's doing a completely different report. So I'm having to learn how to standardize the language for what we're doing. It's very, very intentional. It's very, very precise. It is the biggest headache ever. But it is making me very aware of, actually, the more intentional we come about every single aspect of our life, the more we're choosing how we live it. Literally step by step by step. But it is a slowing down of the chaos to become that intentional. Does that make sense? It's like we're slowing down to word it very, very precisely, so that it happens that precisely. And then slowing it down again. And Claire, I know you understand what I mean, because you're part of the intention groups that we set up as the legacy circles, the Power of 8 type groups. And then doing that on a daily basis for yourself, and then doing it as groups. We are doing this as a circle once a month, but it's going to become even more intentional. And the one that we did at that Labyrintth was beautiful. We were also only meant to do it that once, which is why I know that piece of paper disappeared. Because using the same language, unless you are doing a report and for academic purposes, it has to change each time, because you've already changed. The energy's already changed. So if anybody's got any advice and help and knows someone who can talk to me about the language for ChatGPT and those type of things, or a VA who might be available to start helping putting all of this together for this year, please do point them in our direction. We'd be really, really grateful. That's it from me. Has anybody got any questions? Everybody's tired. It's time to go sleep. I'm going to transcribe all this. We've got the recording, and the next one is January the 26th or 29th. I've forgotten already. Pardon?
28th.
28th?
No, 9th.
29th. 29th.
29th. 25th is the activation. Sunday the 25th is the activation, 29th is the visit, and the 5th of February is the post-review Zoom.
Okay. So I've also got another request. So on January the 29th, if anybody knows of anyone who wants to become a yawning ambassador and do the yawnology stuff with me, who might want to get involved in Bolton in 2 weeks' time. We've got 3 weeks in Bolton doing the Great Big Yawn, and we're doing yarnathons, which means on the 29th of January I will not be at that event. I will be at this event with Julie and you all. But I'm hoping to have people trained up to be able to step into our shoes to be working with these schools for that time. So it's a great opportunity for, again, more field work, for people to have this field experience, training and field experience immediately. This is what seems to be happening now with this work that I'm doing. It's not just, right, we're going to train you up for you to do something. You're in the field doing it now, because that's the option. Yeah, you're training up doing it, right, you're in the field delivering it. And those are the options that are available. So if you know of anyone who might be interested in that quick turnaround of, there's no messing around now, this is what's happening. Train, do it, deliver. It's beautiful. Magic, crazy world that we find ourselves in, doing yarnathons and everything else, but there we go. Good night, God bless, sleep well. Thank you all.
Good night, everyone.
Good night.
Good night.
Good night.